Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Eric Andre Show!
The Eric Andre Show is a late-night meth-fueled fever dream led by comedian Eric Andre and, until season 5, his co-host Hannibal Buress. Whether it's cosplaying as slaves at a Civil War reenactment or pissing in a cup in front of Chad Johnson, Eric Andre never shies away from a chance to push the line as far as possible. Over 100 celebrities have been tortured for hours on end, from rappers to comedians to other late-night talk show hosts. Nobody is safe from what Eric has in store. This satirical, sardonic, and surreal show has now hit 50 episodes filled with nothing but carnage and insanity. But no matter how many people walk off, how many times Eric tackles the drummer, how many times he slams and crashes and destroys his set, the furniture comes right back. Ever since the start of the show, theories have been circulating about some deeper meaning hidden beneath all the full frontal nudity. The most common and most notable theory out of these is that Eric Andre is trapped in hell. It definitely makes sense out of some of the recurring jokes and bits throughout the series. Always being hot on set, Hannibal forcing Eric to do the monologue,
Knock it off!
Eric always getting hurt or being ridiculed while Hannibal gets endless praise while barely trying. It would make sense that Eric is being tormented and Hannibal is the tormentor. My opinion? You're all thinking too much. I don't think Eric Andre's in hell, however, he is in purgatory. Well, a purgatory. But before we get into that, we need to talk about absurdism. The Eric Andre Show is absurd in two different ways. The one people tune in for is the absurd humor of the show. From Bird Up, the self-proclaimed worst show on television,
Two fingers, ya boopay.
to Officer Andre pissing on people's cars,
You didn't read the sign. Say. I gotta pee on your car now. Now I'm urinating on your car. You kidding me? Yeah.
all of Eric's skits center around one thing: meaninglessness. The legalized ranch pranks are by far some of the most iconic in the show just because of how purely meaningless they are.
Fresh, you got a pretty sick style. You wanna butt chug some jankum? No disrespect. You squirt? I ain't trying to drain your meat flaps. I'm just hashtag asking. What are you reading, Mein Kampf? Legalized ranch.
If you look up most of the phrases he uses, you'll find that they actually exist, but when you hear them all shotgunned out by this druggy, half-nude maniac, it seems like complete and utter nonsense, which it basically is. One of my favorite pranks by far is from season 3, episode 2.
Can I ask you a question? How do you explain this?
I love this clip so much because it perfectly conveys what I'm trying to get across. All of these pranks serve one goal: to confront people with meaninglessness. Watching Eric Andre on other people's shows gives you a look into his mindset.
Jimmy Vivino, hit me! 2 times! 3 times! 100 times!
At any opportunity he has, he tries to disrupt and uproot the regular flow of the interview. He takes extreme pleasure out of giving people situations they've never experienced before. On his show, celebrities often come in with next to no research, assuming it's just another interview on the promotional circuit. They leave both unable to promote anything and completely and utterly jarred.
Most guests have no idea. We had Abby Lee Miller come in. She's the dance mom. Do you know dance mom's one person? Wow. Yeah. This is gonna go great. Yeah. No, she walked up to my first AD and she was like, is this a cartoon or is it with real people? Yeah. And we were like, yes.
One thing you'll notice in the Eric Andre Show is how often he uses everyday objects against people. In interviews, the chair, door, desk, and cup are the most common weapons used to mess with guests. In season 3 especially, you could see every single guest struggle to open up the shitty paper and wood doors when they enter. People randomly fall from the ceiling or crash up from above the desk. The cup does absolutely anything but work, and the chair is used to tickle taints and whip around.
Really My seat feels like it's alive or something.
Kimmel, we had a PA under his seat tickling his taint. The entire interview.
And when people are placed into meaningless, ridiculous situations, the idea of the absurd can start pricking at their mind. If you have ever watched any video about absurdism, you've undoubtedly been told about the myth of Sisyphus. See, King Sisyphus in Greek mythology tried to cheat death. When Zeus found out, he wasn't the happiest guy, so he subjected Sisyphus to eternal torment. His task, for all of eternity, was to roll a boulder up a hill. The moment he is about to succeed in doing so, the boulder would immediately roll all the way back down. When it comes to life, we as people are not too different. We wake up, go to work for 8 hours a day to get money so we can buy stuff to temporarily distract us for 2 days until we get back to whatever job we had, over and over and over until we die, pushing the same boulder up the same hill. This endless cycle, this constant pushing of this pointless boulder up this pointless hill is called the absurd, an endless push to assign meaning to a meaningless universe. Now, the good thing for most people is that we're really good at distracting ourselves. Almost everything in life is designed to keep us doing things, because if we ever stop to think, that realization of the absurd would crush billions of people. It's obvious that Eric believes that nothing has meaning, as shown from several of his interviews with other hosts.
Now, what is the point of that, Eric?
What is the point of anything? What is the point?
What's it all about?
What is it all about?
What does it mean?
What does it mean? Yeah, exactly.
So that should be...
Existence is meaningless. Or are we all connected?
Or are we here?
Or are we really here?
Are we...
Is this a dream that we're going to wake up from?
Is this all a dream?
I don't know.
Everything from his pranks to his interviews are designed to break people from that numbing cycle of distraction. We're so desperate as human beings to find meaning in anything and everything that one truly unexplainable act can be a wrench in the cogs. I've always loved the quote from Mark Twain, "Truth is stranger than fiction." But it's the full quote that really interests me. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. Eric Andre is the part of truth that is stranger than fiction. The idea of the Eric Andre show being in hell flies directly in the face of the message he, as a person and the show, is trying to get across. That is to say, the Eric Andre show's message is nothing at all. With all this said, I think it's silly to try to assign a deeper meaning to the Eric Andre show. But as I said at the start of this video, he is in a sort of purgatory. He runs a late-night talk show. To be fair, the Eric Andre show tries its hardest to be as opposite to regular talk shows as possible. The chaos and torture and pain and discomfort surrounding the show seems to be in some vain act of defiance. Guests are brought on only to be ridiculed and sabotaged for laughs. Hannibal Buress is loved way more than Eric, the namesake of the show. Huge guests are brought on for 10 seconds of screen time while C-tier celebrities get entire segments. The show is a rabid animal trapped in a cage, clawing as hard as it can to be on the outside, but the truth still stands. The Eric Andre show is a talk show. See, talk show hosts are trapped. People like Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel don't have options beyond their individual shows. Talk shows can't be fundamentally changed or suddenly act on their own. There's no overarching narrative or real development. They speak to big stars, rake in their views, and hope they don't get cancelled. Sometimes co-hosts or even the namesake star of the show is unceremoniously replaced or leaves. All of it is inherently meaningless. All these shows do is distract people. Eric Andre, in the show, isn't literally trapped in purgatory, but he is trapped within his medium. He can demolish every set, ruin every interview, do 1,000 more pranks, but the truth is undeniable. It is a meaningless, repetitive talk show. And just like every other talk show, there's no bigger story. It'll go and go and go until one day, just like all of us, it'll be gone. Pushing a boulder up a hill until one day it isn't. And maybe, just maybe, you could call that hell. Hey, so I originally had an end card scripted, but then I was in this McDonald's drive-thru, and I was like, you know, fuck it. Wait, this is fucking Taco Bell. I just went to the wrong drive-thru. Turns out everything's fucking closed. Oh, God damn it. It's 7:48, if you can see, and this Korean place is about 10 minutes from closing. It's really fucking good food. I'm supposed to be promoting my channel. Subscribe makes me happy. God, I just want food. Anyways, this video was a real change in my channel. It wasn't that big of a change, but it was still, a change. I'm no longer doing meme history, and this is a pretty big step. I don't expect the video to do well, but I want this to be my channel in the future, so I really hope that you enjoyed it if you watched. I'm doing pretty well. Is it too late to order?
Oh, no.
Okay. That lady's a blessing. She's like the kindest person I've ever met. I've gone here so much. It's really expensive. I should probably stop. This is probably running long. Again, if you enjoyed, subscribe so I can get more Korean food. And have a good day. Or, night.